If you weren't aware, there's a couple things that we do perfectly across the pond here in France. The first one being surrendering, the second one being chopping off the head of our political enemies, the third one being bread, wine, and as a fifth one, we've got soccer. Now, soccer is a huge cultural passion in France. Not necessarily for myself, but a lot of French people love soccer. So it's understandable that back in the time, we actually had trading soccer cards, kind of like how in the US you guys have baseball cards. Well, in 2022, a lot of stuff is happening, especially with digital assets like NFTs, non-fungible tokens, right? Well, a little way back, a French company named Sorare decided to make trading soccer NFT collectible cards. And eventually they made it so that you could create your team with these cards and actually play against other players for money. Now, this kind of sounds like Axie's Infinity, right? Which was a famous play to earn. What is a play to earn? Basically, you buy NFTs, you play a video game with those NFTs, and eventually, if you're good at it, you'll make some money. The only issue is when Sorare launched that, they didn't actually think about the betting side of things, which is what brings us here today. What's up, guys? It's your boy Marcel, aka Smokhelm. I know my t-shirt is wrinkly, my apartment's a mess. I don't have time to take care of it right now because of all the crazy crypto stuff going on that I have to explain to you. Now, if you do like my t-shirt though, I mean, Speed Division, Fox Worldwide, motocross stuff, consider subscribing just for the t-shirt and maybe for the content. Now, since today we're going to talk about Sorare, let's have a little bit of background on the company. First of all, it is a French company. Secondly, it is actually a company and not just a project. Thirdly, they're valued at $4.3 billion. They have a user base of around 1 million, with 270,000 of those being active every month. Recently, they've signed deals with huge football stars such as Kylian Mbappe. You might know him because he was everywhere for a while, and even Zidane, which was a huge player back in the day, and on his last game before going to retirement, headbutted a dude in the stomach. And I mean, that's just how we do drama here in France. And now they're running into a big problem, which is regulations, but not regulations like, should we tax this, should we do this, should we do that, because they're being investigated by UK and French gambling licenses distributors because the fantasy football game that they created is apparently too realistic, and if you look at it from a certain angle, it can look like sports betting. Now, obviously, the angle you need to look at it in order to see it as sports betting is a regulatory angle, meaning I want to tax this, I actually want to make some money off of them, boo-boo, not decentralized, bad. When you look at it from other angles, like being a player, you're just actually playing a video game like Axie's Infinity. You love soccer, you have a lot of knowledge in the field, you know all the players, you build up your own team, put money in order to do so, and it's just normal that by fighting other teams, you make a little bit of money as well. Now, this is a little bit different, but a little bit similar to World of Warcraft in some ways, which is a massively well-known multiplayer online game where you can buy items with the in-game currency that actually have real-world value. So you'll be able to sell those items for money, which usually developers don't really like. But in the case of Sorare, that is the whole intended business model. Now, I've read a couple articles about it. Most of them are in French just because, well, French company, French establishments looking at them. So I'll try to do my best to translate. This article says Sorare recently received a warning about the nature of its game from the National Gaming Authority. The reasons for that is the way it plays is similar to a sports betting platform, according to the ANJ, which is none other than the Autorité de Régulation des Jeux en Ligne, which basically is the thing that regulates every single gambling website like Unibet, Winamax, I'm not sure which one you guys have in the US, but for France, that is the authority that does control those gambling websites. Now, the ANJ actually spoke out and said these exact words. We have already received a series of arguments from them about which we have a series of doubts. We are waiting to see what Sorare representative will present us in the autumn. If difficulties persist, we will have to take position. Now, on a personal level, do I think this is a good or a bad thing? Well, y'all know me, I'm not really for regulation in the crypto space. I know that in order to build a healthy crypto space for people that are not in it as deep as me, there has to be some regulations in order to make sure that scam levels are kept to the lowest. People can actually get support if need be. But here we're talking about transitioning from this actual play to earn NFT game to a sports betting website, which will mean a KYC, which a KYC per French laws means you basically have to be over 18, validate your ID with the gambling establishment, proof of address, and that is everything that we don't necessarily like in crypto. That's why we use wallets such as MetaMask, Solflare, etc. I do not play Sorare myself because I'm not a soccer guy. I don't have the knowledge to get into it. At the end of the day, it's a video game where you can collect digital assets like NFTs. There's a lot of other games where you can do the same thing without the NFTs and still earn some money. So why is this one being considered that way? Well, I believe that these establishments such as the ANJ are just scared of what's coming and they don't want to miss out on a piece of the pie. I think in the case of Sorare, if this wasn't a company but actually a decentralized project, they could not do anything about it pretty much. But Sorare went the way of actually creating a company, being accountable for the actions, and now they're in this pickle. One thing that does scare me is that if the ANJ actually decides that Sorare is a gambling website, they might start attacking other crypto projects or NFTs that can earn you some passive income, for instance, and then we're gonna see everything in France that's going on in the US with the securities exchange, etc. Anyways, this was your little amount of daily news with your boy Marcel, aka Smoketown. If you found anything of value or learned something today, please drop a like, not for the YouTube algorithm, for my own ego. Don't forget to subscribe for way more of these videos, and I'll catch you guys in another one. Peace.